Yeah, so today we're actually going to hit on a subject that I think is going to really pass on some really good value to our listeners and people that follow us. You guys know, like we've been on a path of personal growth, and this is something that we really like to push on our people because we should always be trying to get better. These are ways that we have gone about it and really put in and been pretty damn disciplined with the past 2 years with incorporating in our lives to make sure that we're continuing to grow for our business, for our families. And we thought that we could share these top 5 things, which are the top 5 actions we feel are important for personal growth.
It is for the money, would have gave up long ago. It's the passion and the drive buried deep down in my soul. It's ambition, I'm too hungry, I ain't never getting full. On a mission, it's a battle, locked and loaded, bulletproof. On my mission, on the way.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Nesian Built Podcast. The Baldy Boys are back for another episode, and this is the podcast for Pacific Islanders, where we're telling our stories and our lessons of our journey to help you on yours. Another fucking episode, and we're back. Shit's been going down, and we're here to talk about it.
Yep.
Just got back from Portland, Oregon. Had Labor Day weekend. That's always a big part of our year.
Yeah.
Something that we always look forward to. Mark didn't make it down this year, but he has been a part of it in the past. And
Our booth didn't make it down this year.
Yeah, our booth didn't make it down this year, which was
A little bit of a bummer.
yeah. That's like a lot of people were asking about bringing gear down and stuff like that. But this year, just wanted to focus on just hanging with the family, playing some softball, because it is kind of like it's craziness when you're running a booth and playing ball and trying to focus on both and make sure
You're like, bro, I just want to focus this year.
Yeah,
I just want to focus on the game.
just chill out. And it was nice. It really was fucking nice. So I played with a different team. Team Nesian Built didn't go out this year. And I ended up playing with the hosting team, Team Calacas, and they're out of Portland. Great group of guys. Had a great time with them, man. And I just really appreciated them bringing me in, letting me do my thing, and we ended up going to the championship. Went to the championship, played the same team that we played last year.
Oh.
And Team Nesian Built played last year in the championship. And last year in the championship, we 10-run ruled them in the championship game. This year, they did that to us in the second game because they had to beat us twice because we were undefeated until the championship. And yeah, the first game we had them, or it was a close game. We lost by 1. But yeah, there's actually a moment in there that I want to bring up later in this episode because of what we're going to talk about. But
they got their redemption this year.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They're a really solid squad, really good group of guys too. I know a couple of them, so I'm happy for them, man. They deserved it that day. They came back. They battled all day in the championship day and came back and did their thing, gave it to us because we actually beat them earlier in the day, and then they came back and beat us twice. So got to give props to them, man. They did their thing and then they won.
It was a good turnout overall.
Oh yeah, for sure. It felt good, man. The vibes were they were on it, man. Like it just felt really good out there. Family environment, everybody just enjoying themselves, and it just felt good to be out there, man. It's always good to be with the people from the homeland that are just out here and just enjoying themselves. And I really want to give a shout out to Jordan and Lenny, man. You guys did a great job for for being youngsters that, to put that together because usually it's the older guys that always, that and the older families that put it together. And these guys took full control of it, took ownership of the whole thing and just went at it, man. They did a great job. They had commentary during the championship game. They had, Jester Tyson from Saipan come out, and he was performing all weekend. Everybody loved that.
Damn,
there's just a lot going on, bro. They had a lot of the small businesses out there, selling
food
their
vendors
stuff.
and everything too.
Food vendors, the small business food vendors, like they just did it all, bro. Like they did a really good job of incorporating the whole community into it, and everybody felt it. Everybody felt like this is family, like, and
That's dope.
That's what we do here, and that's why it just felt so good, bro. And just seeing everybody have a good time. Everybody was happy. And it was really nice, bro. It was really nice. It was a really good turnout, really good tournament. And just looking forward to next year. Next year's Vegas. So
I was gonna say, where's this one at?
Yeah, next year's Vegas. So it's usually a little different out in Vegas, but I mean, we'll see what happens. They're talking about kind of doing the same thing. Hopefully, it runs and feels the same way because the vibes down there were really good, man. It was nice.
That's dope.
Nice. So, yeah. So today we're actually going to hit on a subject that I think is going to really pass on some really good value to our listeners and people that follow us. You guys know, like we've been on a path of personal growth, and this is something that we really like to push on our people because we should always be trying to get better, and we think that's really important. We should always be trying to get better because as we grow and as we get older, problems become bigger when things, different things happen in our life. Nothing is constant in life, right? And if we grow as a person, we can handle all these situations better, right? And that makes things less stressful. It makes it so that you're better for your family, and these things spread throughout your community, throughout the people that you're around. And this these are ways that we have gone about it, especially, and really put in and been pretty damn disciplined with in the past 2 years, with incorporating in our lives to make sure that we're continuing to grow for our business, for our families. And we thought that we could share these top 5 things, which are the top 5 actions we feel are important for personal growth. So we're going to talk about that, and hopefully it provides some value for you. And if you're looking for that way, looking for that route to, better yourself and become the best version of yourself, these are the ways that we're kind of going about it. This is the ways that we've learned, along the journey to go and do that for ourselves, and spread.
We're not saying it's the ultimate way, but this is just our experience along that journey to personal growth. So we're not sitting here saying we're experts.
Yeah, this is not for sure. It's not like this is the way you should do it. This is just the way we've done it, and it's helped us. So that's why we want to pass it on. It's not
because other people out there could relate, especially in our niche,
our audience. People. Yeah. So let's start with the number one thing, that number one action. And you guys know Nesian Build is a fitness brand, and this is why I think this is probably the number one action, because of your body being your vessel that gets you through life, and you making sure that you take care of it. So top action, number one, actually, I'm not going to even say it's a top action. I'm just going to say number one on the list right now.
Yeah, no specific order.
Yeah, no specific order for the first four. The last one will be
that's where it's going to be. Yeah,
that's the last one that I mentioned will be the number one actual one. But you got to wait.
One,
the top one. You got to wait to hear that last, because we have to get into that. But number one, exercising daily. Like I say daily, but I mean, if you can exercise consistently, exercise 3 to 4 times a week, that's better than not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
Taking care of your body, making sure that you can be as healthy as you possibly can, moving and challenging your body, challenging yourself every day. That alone has done me so much fucking good, bro. Like, it's crazy, because I remember before I always felt good about when I went to the gym and stuff, right? I really thought I was in really good shape, but I was not. But I thought I was, because I would hit the gym 3 or 4 times a week, right? And I always realized, like, every time that I took those long breaks from going to the gym, I felt very different about myself. I felt very different about the way I went throughout my days and stuff like that, right? And since being more consistent, it's really taking into account how important working out is for me to be effective every day, to feel good every day. That's why for me it's a daily thing, right? It's not, and I always say this, but it's really true. Like, me working out every day is not about like becoming the fittest dude on earth. Like, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with me making sure that I take care of every day. Like, because I start my day with doing like the hardest thing that I think I'm going to do is fucking challenge myself in the gym. Like, that's my thing. And when you like, since we've done 75 hard, right? When you feel that, right? When you feel that you're sticking to what you say what you're gonna do, right? And you stick to working out every day. And we were doing it twice a day during that time, right? During 75 Hard. Yep. When you do that and you feel your best, the best you've ever felt, you shouldn't want to go back, right? Yeah. Like you shouldn't want to go back. You want to stay up there. And when you feel that, a lot of people have never felt that. And that's the thing that I'm really trying to get at when it comes to the exercise thing. A lot of people have never really felt that because they've never stuck to it long enough to feel what it feels like to be your best. And if you can get to that point where you've really felt your best, you know that makes you feel that good, and you know that you can perform and you can execute daily and execute better because of just working out. Yeah. Then why would you not do it? Just because you take every day as a way to get better, right? As a way to grow. And that's why I think exercise, like working out, and when I say working out and exercising, right, I'm talking about just some physical activity. Yeah. Just walking, even if it's just walking every day, if you're just doing a 20-minute workout, it's just something like that, man. The things that it does to you chemically, releasing endorphins, especially in the morning, right? As soon as you wake up. And that's why I like doing it in the morning. It's releasing those endorphins and challenging yourself mentally. It just gets you ready for the day, right? And
it's good that you highlight that too, because I think for me, for the longest time, when you say working out, it's just the physical. Oh yeah, I gotta get the pump, gotta get the gains. You know what I'm saying? But then that doesn't last. Yeah. But when you stay consistent, I think it definitely does more for your mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at least for me, when I work out on the days I show up at the gym and no one's there, or I show up at the gym and I'm tired and I'm still going to do it, you know what I mean? It helps me mentally, I can do the things that I need to do regardless of how I feel inside, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So that helps mentally, it helps. And it can keep pushing you forward because you remember that feeling every time I feel like shit and I go to the gym. I felt like this last time, but I still made it through. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and when it comes to be like the consistency and stuff like that, right? Like life happens, things happen, and even when you're on the path of growth, right, and you're executing these things, even as you execute and you are consistent and you are disciplined, growth is not constant, right? It's never going to be that. You have the ups and downs, and you have the valleys, the peaks, and it's always going to be like that. And I felt that throughout all of this time, like all these times, you're not just constantly just getting stronger. Like you're not going to feel that way.
You can show up days and it just hurts.
Yeah, but
it sucks.
The idea is to show up. The idea is to get through the workout that you said you were going to do, right? And because a lot of people, most people will just not execute on the plan because they don't feel the progress, or they don't see the progress. They don't see the the strength gains. They don't see themselves getting better. But sometimes, some days you're just not there. You don't have it, right? Yeah. Some days you don't have it, but you still have to show up. You still have to go just do it, right? And like I've seen in the past 2 years, like, so my body has changed so many fucking times, bro. So many times to where I've been more muscular, I've been a little leaner. And it's based off of the training that I'm doing, right? So everything keeps changing. Like just because of like running more or lifting more, or just making sure that I'm executing. Like during 75 Hard, for me, it was more like just make sure I get through the workouts, and you have to balance it out based off how your body's feeling, right? Because some days you're super sore, some days you're just really tired, but you just execute, just get it done, just get through the workout. And there's like I said, there's valleys, peaks, highs, lows. There's just a lot of stuff going to happen, but you sticking to your plan of executing on the workout, the exercising, that is so important to what you can do with everything else. And moving your body, like I said, I think the exercise thing, it holds a lot of people back. But if you can just get that done, it translates or transitions to everything else that you're trying to do, right? So like for your job or for whatever anything that you're doing, it's just like, I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna do it, right?
You do the hard things, man, and you can push you through the rest of your day.
Yeah, because that's the exercise thing. Like the exercise thing is big for a lot of people, and I always tell people, especially when you're just coming back into it, or you're just starting out. We've talked about this on a podcast before. Start slow. Don't try and go ham. You're not gonna like. If you gained a lot of weight, or you just lost a lot of strength or whatever, You didn't
not
lose
gonna
that
come
shit
right
in a.
back.
You didn't lose that shit in a day.
Yeah.
It took a long
Over
time for you to
time.
lose that. It took you a long time to put weight on. So expect that it's going to take a long time for
Yeah.
you to take the weight off or you to get strong again. So it's
Be realistic about the goal.
yeah. And expecting, like, you know, it's going to take a long time. Exercise shouldn't be a thing where you're, you know, really, it's not a punishment. It shouldn't be a punishment for you. It should be, you know, it should be a reward for your body, you know, knowing that you can do these things, but you're not doing them, right? So because you can run, you should probably run, you know, like just being appreciative of that and stuff like that. Just being able to, you know, just show up, like for real. It's just a show up mentality. Like get there. And I'm telling you, a lot of times, you know, like I always say, 90% of the time, I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to go I don't want to wake up and I don't want to go work out. But you know, I know how it makes me feel, and I know how it does make me feel, or how it makes me feel throughout the day, and what, you know, I don't, as much as I have to get done every day, I have to, like, that's just my thing. Like, I have to do it, and I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. Like just this week, I think it was yesterday actually. I woke up late, so I didn't have enough time to get my workout in. Went to work, I can feel it all. I can feel it all.
You?
Yeah, it bothers me, bro. It messes up mentality and everything. But
that's a good thing though.
Yeah,
because now you're frustrated because you didn't get that thing done.
Yeah.
Versus you know, someone who doesn't work out, they don't care. You know. But then you get stressed out by everyday life. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like a trade off. You know. I'd rather be stressed and irritated that I didn't get something done that's going to help me down the road, versus, you know,
letting the world mess you up, right? But I still got my workout in. That's the thing. Like, even though I might have missed my time hack, the time that I put out, I'm going to find a way to get that workout in. If I have to stay up late, if I have to, whatever's going on, you have time. I'm not gonna sit, like, I knew that I had to leave work when I got off work. That first thing I'm doing, because I didn't get my workout in the morning, I'm going straight home. Because I already got everything done that I need to get done here at the shop, I'm going straight home. I'm getting my workout in. Me and my family went to the fair after that. But guess what? A lot of people will, like, oh, I didn't get it done today. I guess I just won't have time. That's fucking horseshit. You'll probably go home and you'll probably jump on your phone and you probably won't get the workout in, but you'll go to the fair or go do whatever you're supposed to do. And like, that's just the thing. Whatever you are committed to, just sticking to that commitment. And like the exercise, the commitment to the exercise is important. Stick to it. And do it, and just do it. Like, it's not, like, for real, I'm not saying it wasn't the best workout ever, but the workout was done.
Even a little bit, or you know, a lighter workout, slower workout's better than nothing at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I read it in a book once.
Yeah, it always is. Like a 20-minute workout is fine. A 10-minute workout is fine. It
does something for you down the road because it still compounds. You still got it done. You did something, you know.
Yeah, keep stacking. Like I always say, keep fucking stacking. All right, so yeah, exercise, like, for real, I think 3 to 4 times is enough. Like I said, I need it because I want it to feel, I want every day to be my best day, right? Like, so I just try and do as much as I can, and that gets me in the zone. It makes me feel right, so I do it. And it really, and at this point, like, I've done it so much that I just feel off, or I feel off, or I just don't feel right. I just don't. You know, I don't like when I go into those days where I didn't get a workout in first, you know, in the morning. So exercise, number 1. So number 2, this is a very big thing that I think a lot of people should really take into account, because your thoughts are everything. Mindset is everything. So over the past 2 years, what's really been important in making sure that we stay on the path of continued growth, right, is controlling what we put in our minds and our body, right? So like I said, your body is your vessel. Your body is what's getting you through life. Your body is what's pushing you through everything that you're pushing through. If you're sick, if you're unhealthy, it'll affect everything that you do, right? It can affect your family if you're sick and unhealthy, right? So that's why it's pretty damn important that you control what goes into your body. It can affect your family, how you think. It can affect your family, the kind of things that you say, the way the way that you express yourself. All those things matter. So controlling what you put into your mind and your body. So we're talking about mind wise, right? We're talking about the things that you watch, you know, the things on TV. We're talking about social media. We're talking about music. Like those things are huge. Like if you really pay attention to those things that you watch, you'll probably see their similarities in your life just because you watch that stuff so much. And you kind of apply those principles that you see in those shows or those movies.
And you might not choose to, but subconsciously it's doing it.
Exactly.
You know,
because that's
so now you're unaware.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you think you get it from? Your environment, what you, like you said, what you put in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't watch cable TV.
I mean, I don't either. And that's the thing. Like, it's all this stuff is like when we talk about this, like I said, like the exercise, right, and then like the what you put into your mind and stuff. Like, it's kind of like a moderation thing. Like, it's not like one of those things where you could stop completely. Like, entertainment is entertainment, right? But making sure that you are aware that this could affect your mind, right? So you probably shouldn't watch it or listen to it all the time. But take it in whenever you want to be entertained. But just know, okay, this is not what I'm going. This is not values or principles that I'm going to apply to my life, and be aware of it, and know that it is just a TV show or it is just music, and go on with your damn life, right? And
some people might get too lost in the sauce, though. You know, I do see people. It's like, this is ingrained in you. You know, and until you self-reflect and really, it's going to be hard. But until you step back and you really look, you know, you might not know. You might not know. You know, and it takes you seeking knowledge to be better to sometimes see that. Like, oh shit, dude, the stuff that I'm watching and listening to and seeing is really, like you said, there's similarities in it. So that's a good, I like how you highlighted that.
And then it's like another thing was when it comes to that, like the mind thing, what controlling what you put into your mind is the people that you're around. That is the biggest thing. Controlling the people that you're around, that you expose yourself to the most, right? Because, like, for example, look, I'm going to tell this story about when I was, it's like two stories that I really remember that really showed me that this was true, right? Was when I was in the Army, I was a sergeant for about a year at that point, right? And I was in one platoon and I was a team leader. I had my guys, I was with them, worked with them already for a year and stuff like that. And I was always with these guys, right? Like when they're in the motor pool, working on vehicles, cleaning up, you know, working with mechanics to fix vehicles and stuff like that. I was always with them. I was always down there with them. And we had a certain energy about us because we just all worked. And my work ethic was pushed into my guys. Like we knew we just had to get the shit done all the time, and we weren't complainers. My guys would talk shit and complain every now and then, but they knew, hey, shut that shit down. Let's get to work. Like it didn't, you know, that shit don't matter. Whatever you complain about, it doesn't really matter. We got to get this shit done. And then, you know, it was, and I loved it, bro. Like I loved my job. I loved being with those guys. I loved being able to train them. I loved being able to, you know, be a part of their lives because I had a lot of younger guys. I was young at the time too, and I had younger guys than me. But you know, it was nice to be able to affect them the right ways, right? And then I got moved to a different platoon in the same, you know, troop or company, right? I got moved to a different platoon, and I went over there and. So wait, I'm gonna go back real quick because in the platoon I was in first, the NCOs that I was with, we were all alike, right? We all did the same stuff. Like we would, if our guys were in the motor pool working, we're working with our guys. Like that was kind of our culture in that platoon, and it always was like when we're in the field, all of us are working. It's not just our soldiers working, right? We all did our thing. We did our part. And then when I went over, I got moved to a different platoon. I don't really remember why, but I got moved to a different platoon, became a team leader for a different group of guys. And I was working with other sergeants. And I realized how different the sergeants I worked with over there and the sergeants I worked with in this platoon. And I'm not saying anything bad about them, but we were just very different. And they are great sergeants, NCOs, right? But my culture, the culture I came from of me being in the motor pool working with my guys was not the same culture they had. The culture they had was our guys are in the motor pool working. We're sitting down in chairs in the office, chilling, talking about shit that doesn't matter, college football, shit like that, right? And nothing on them. Like I said, they were great guys. Like I learned a lot from them too and everything, bro. Like just nothing bad. It's just a different culture. And I knew that. And I told myself, do not turn into this. You're also complained about stuff a lot. me being with them enough, because you spend a lot of time with these people, right? You being around it enough, it becomes part of you, because I was around them so much. I turned into that guy that complained. I turned into that guy who started to hate the Army, bro. Like, I was not that guy, which it only took a couple months, because it's a lot of hours spending around that, being around that. And that flipped me into that guy that complained, thought everything was stupid. When before I was so bad, I didn't give a fuck. I don't care how stupid it is. I like it. It's hard. Let's do it. You know, and that turned me into the fucking person that complained, person that didn't go out and work with my guys all the time. And I hated that. I hated what I was turning into. Yeah. And I ended up getting out of the Army because of that, because of that flip in the mindset, because of being around it so much. Yeah. I ended up getting out of the Army because of that.
I remember you had a little bit talks about how it was in that environment early on.
Just being around that, bro. It was crazy how that just changed me, and just because I was around it, and even though I was aware of it, bro. Like, I knew how the cultures were different in the platoon. Yeah. But it still got to me. It's still because I was just around it too much. So that can affect you with the way people talk around you, the things that they talk about. You know, that can affect you. I forgot what the second story was, so I can't even talk about that. But I'm sure that gets the point across. You know what I mean? Just being around that, and understanding that the people around you, how they talk, how they think, the values they hold for their life, and that will become you if you are around.
Part of them will seep into you. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And especially the people like that you hang out with the most, like, that is going to become a part of you. So that's why it's very important that you understand that, and you know, like, the people that you're around and you associate yourself with the most, if you are trying to be the best version of yourself and they are not, you know, pouring into that in helping you become the person that you want to be, you can't expose yourself as much to them, right? And it doesn't matter if you are aware of it or not. Like I just said, it didn't matter. It just I was around it way too much, so it didn't matter that I knew what was going on. So just
did you choose to feel like that though? You know.
What do you mean?
Did you like? Oh, I'm gonna now choose to act like these guys.
No,
it just kind of
just happened. Yeah.
And that's that subconscious thing. It's like subconscious is you're not aware of what you're doing. Yeah, you know, it's deep within your mind. You can't control that part of you.
Exactly.
You know, in an obvious way, but you know, yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is what it is. Like, that's like just knowing what you're trying to be and the values that you hold. You can't let anything affect that, right? Yeah. And just trying to stay away from that kind of stuff as much as possible. And then, like, it's
going to be hard though too.
It is hard. It is,
especially with people with small circles. It's like,
but the funny part is, I know there was another NCO, which I should have. It's so fucked up to me thinking about it. It's like there's another sergeant in that platoon, and he was a squad leader, and he was never in that office with us. He always
separated himself.
Yeah, he was by himself. He didn't care. He was in the motor. I should have been around that. You know, knowing what I like going into it, knowing what they're doing, right? I should have been with that guy. But he was the unpopular one. So me being the young guy, right, trying to fit in and stuff like that.
And that's part of it too. You wanting to be accepted. You know, people wanting to be accepted into their group. Yeah.
That you want to be part of something.
And you know damn well you should probably not be around this, but you know, because you want to fit in, it's like, okay, let me conform to what everybody else is doing.
Exactly. You didn't want to be outside of what everybody else.
It's hard to stick out, you know, like that.
During that time, man, like I was just trying to. I really just want to do my job and, you know, fit in and stuff like that.
I can see that because in the other, was it
the sergeant?
Yeah, in your other group.
Oh yeah.
You know, it seemed like you led more from the front.
Yeah,
these guys are leading from the back.
Because it's not just me actually. In the first platoon I was in, I had a guy, like we had guys that were in charge of us that led from the front, so we followed that. Yeah. So you know what I mean. But when I moved, these guys that I'm talking about, they were in the Army longer than me, and you know they had more experience than me and stuff like that. So of course I'm following that, you know. And even the guy that was in the motor pool, like all the time with his guys, he was in the Army longer than me too, and so I should have, you know, chose the right side of it, but because he was an unpopular one, of course I went the other route. But then that also goes into like the people that you're associated with, right? Like, so family and friends, like that. I understand that family's family, but if and I'm not saying, you know, don't talk to your mom or don't fucking, you know, call your dad or whatever, but if they're just fucking negative about everything, if if they're not supporting what you're trying to do for yourself and stuff like that, limit the exposure. Like for sure. Like that's not, don't let people, because I'm already telling you this right now, on your path to bettering yourself, you're going to have doubt yourself alone. Like you don't need people to tell you. You're going to have to doubt by yourself. So why have people around you that are going to tell you,
oh, you shouldn't do this. You're probably not going to work out.
Yeah. Why have them around that'll make you doubt yourself even more? Yeah. Like you stay in your own head, and I'm telling you, you're going to keep going through it. You're going to go up, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm doing it. Shit's great. Like I'm feeling good. And then you hit those valleys, and then it's like, imagine if you're around people that are negative.
When you get into the
valley, like you just don't want that. You go into the deeper valley, and you know how hard it is to come out of that. It's already hard to come out of the valley alone when you're alone. So when you have people that are pushing you deeper, then you're just making it harder for yourself. So just kind of limiting yourself from that. So the things that I've really done, trying to better myself, I no longer listen. Like I barely listen to music. Like I listen to, like when I actually have a driving job, and imagine like I'm by myself a lot. So I can listen to music and just drive around all day, but I don't do that. Because I want to better myself, because I want to become the best version of myself, I listen to podcasts that help me with my mindset, that help me. And it's crazy because you listen to these podcasts and you're always wondering about where you're at in your journey, right? Mm-hmm. Then you hear about somebody else's story on their journey, right? Or where they came from on their journey. And so many things resonate with you, like so many, like how you're feeling. You get these explanations of how you're feeling, and they were there, so they're telling you this is why, or this is what I went through. This is how I got out of it. This is what I did to get out of it. And then you start understanding more, and so then those things help you get out of your valleys. Those things help you, progress even more. So that's your goal, right? To for your personal growth. So that's kind of what you should be listening to.
Audiobooks, that self-help audiobooks are reading. Also, sometimes I get a little tired of podcasts, so I'll switch to an audiobook. A self-help audiobook. Your mind is like a toolbox, bro. You got to put tools in there.
Exactly.
Because when you need to fix something, you don't got no tools, you're not gonna be able to fix it.
100%. 100%.
So I think that's a huge help, is the podcasts that are good for you and audiobooks.
Yeah. And
what does that do? That kind of helps program your mind,
Mm-hmm.
So does music.
Yeah.
So does, TV shows. Does the same thing.
Yeah. Because I like rap music and stuff like that. I still do. But I like those for workouts every now and then, right? But if you really think about what the hell the message is, it's about stuff that's not good for you.
See, you're using that as a tool to get you through something, but some people just do it because it's you know what it was to be young. We just listen to music every day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But the people we're talking to are people that have decided, to grow, to be better people, right? So, or to further personal growth. So it's like choosing. This is a way that you can, increase the chances of, becoming better, maybe quicker. I don't know, like just staying on the path, right? Not veering off and, going because you want to try and keep yourself out of the negative shit as much as possible. Because like I said, you already have it for yourself. You're already in your own head. And if you're taking in negative, what do you call it? Negative thoughts, negative ideas, negative energy, then you're pushing yourself back even more than you need to, because you already have it alone. You don't need any more help doing that. You need help getting better. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Positive vibes, bro.
Yeah, that's it. So like if it's negative, like I'm telling you, for me, if somebody is negative, I'm not around you. Like I'm telling you, I will shut that shit down very quickly. I'm not around it. I have way too much shit on my mind already. I doubt myself enough. I don't need you to fucking bring any more negative energy into my life. You know what I'm saying? Like with what I'm already trying to do and the shit that I'm trying to get done and the person that I'm trying to become, I push so hard that I already doubt myself sometimes, right? When shit's not going right. Mm-hmm. But even though I'm aware of like, there's a lot of peaks and valleys and stuff, even though I'm aware of that, I'm still
hard.
Yeah, it's hard. So I'm not going to put myself around anything that's negative. Like I just can't. Like if you talk about people, if that's all you do is talk about people and you gossip and shit like that, I'm not around you. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not around you. I just don't do it. Like I don't like it. First of all, I don't like it. I don't think we should be fucking judging people because people have their own shit. Everybody's going through shit. Nobody in this world got anything figured out. Like, not anything, but everything figured out.
Yeah.
So Facts. It's like everybody's trying to figure this shit out. And when we just sit here and judge people, I think it's really fucking stupid because we're not better than anybody else, you know? Yeah. We're just all just trying to figure this shit out. So, yeah, just controlling what you put in your mind and your body. It's important. And we didn't even get into the food stuff. Like, I'll go into that. I think a lot of people don't even understand how much food affects how they feel. Yep. How much food affects your moods. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Because of 75 Hard, because of how I eat now, and the people that I'm around also, like the way we eat is the same thing. The same way like I feel about like working out. What I eat like one day, the next day I already know how it's gonna affect me. Like when you start going through it and you want to be, you want to become effective every day and be your best self every day, you know what's gonna affect you, right? So before Labor Day, I knew that I was gonna go and drink at Labor Day, right? So I was gonna give myself that. I'm gonna drink throughout during the weekend because that's it's a good time out there, right? Yeah. And that's kind of like just our thing. Like we drink and it's softball and family. Yeah. It's fun, and so but because I'm controlling all those things, I didn't touch alcohol and I ate clean for a month before going out. Leading up to it, yeah. Yeah. So I gave myself like if I'm gonna like that's kind of like a reward, right? Give myself eat clean for a month and then give myself that. I knew I was going to feel like shit. Like I knew
afterwards.
Yeah. When I drink now, it's worse than before. Like for real. When I drink now and when I eat bad foods, when I eat like fast food or if I eat, anything, like just even going to the fair last night, bro, like ate stuff at the fair. I felt like shit immediately. Like you just, when you feel like, again, it's just like the exercise. When you've felt your top, like at your top and you feel how effective and how good you feel because of just eating and working out, you're really not going to want to do anything else.
Try to get back.
Yeah. And go back. But sometimes, it's like not doing it consistently, right? Like it's moderation, like doing it every, you want to give yourself like, that's one of those things where it's sustainable, right? So you're sustaining the good habits, the eating and stuff like that. Yeah. Every now and then you can have, do those things, drink, have some beers, eat some fair food, eat some fast food, stuff like that, but just not doing it all the time. Yeah. Like that's the thing that most people just don't understand is like, I think a lot of people just don't really even know how it feels to wake up and like just be awake, like feel good when you wake up. Like before we went out to Labor Day. Yeah. So what I'm talking about is like,
I was gonna say, explain that
because I know like if I eat, I know for sure if I eat something like heavy, like spaghetti or some shit like that, like for dinner, the next day I know I'm gonna have a really hard time waking up. That's why I didn't wake up. What's that? Yesterday for my workout. I already knew it. I was challenging myself. I even told myself, I was like, I know I'm gonna have a hard time waking up, but I'm gonna get up. But I didn't get up. It's because of what I ate the night before. Yeah. I ate like because we were watching football. So I ate some chips and dip. I ate some wings. I had 2 beers too, and I knew I was like, I'm going. Like my plan is, of course, I'm gonna wake up and do my workout.
I never thought of it like that, like what you eat, how it affects how you.
Oh yeah, big time, bro. Like I'm telling you, like because on Whole30 when we're eating clean, the month before going to Labor Day, I was in the zone. I was waking up every day, no problem. I really didn't have a problem waking up, and then as soon as I, eat something. Very hard time waking up. You feel it. I'm telling you, it affects you. I'm telling you, like if you stay on it long enough, like consistently enough, you're gonna feel it. Like you're gonna start waking up. You'll just be in the zone. It'll be fine. I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning, bro. Like you know what I'm saying, with 4 or 5 hours of sleep. But I'm waking up easily. Like it doesn't feel like super painful. I'm just getting up, and then as soon as I eat something crazy,
something heavy,
struggle. Even if it's not heavy, even if it's just something that has certain ingredients that's not good for you, like. The struggle is real. So
all I know is if I eat pizza the night before, I'm gonna be late to work tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
because I'll be in the bathroom.
And that's what, bro. I'm telling you, like for real, like crazy. Stomach aches are crazy, like real. Like it's not like before where you just handle it. Like, and most people, like I remember, like I used to walk around just being fucking bloated all the damn time. I was bloated and just tired.
That's why, like nowadays, I don't eat a huge. I used to, used to eat a huge lunch at work, and then after lunch, I'm like sitting here trying to hold my stomach in the whole time. That shit's uncomfortable. So now I barely eat at work, and I've told you that. And so for me in that journey, as far as putting stuff in your body, I'm still very much in that transition of trying to figure out. Okay, I'm battling myself. I know I probably shouldn't eat this much or this much. So I'm still in the battle of that, trying to navigate that. But I definitely do better than I used to, because man, before I was just reckless. You know?
It's because you're conscious of it, and that's kind of what I think is important. I think if people are just, because me, I feel guilty now. Like when I do these things, I feel really like I always feel it when I do those things that I'm bringing myself back, like I'm going backwards instead of going forward, right? But at the same time, like it's like just because I also realized when I did those things. And I'm trying to stay on the path of just continued growth, and I'm really going hard at it, right? Just my workouts, my eating, and not going to social events, stuff like that. I also feel like because, like my family is not on the same path as me. So I can't sit there and make them just do everything that I'm doing. So it affects them. So they want to go out to dinner and they want to go eat. I'm going to go with you. I'm not going to take that away, like, and take that time away from my family. Like, that's what I'm saying. In life, like in life, there's just so many things that happen. You just have to learn how to adjust, how to, handle all these situations. And the best way to do that is by trying to become the best version of yourself, because you can handle situations better, right? Yeah. You start learning more about how to fucking handle situations. You become better at, as life gets more stressful and you become better, it becomes less stressful because you're just better. You know what I'm saying? So
easy formula.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's pretty much it on that. Like the eating stuff, like And when people say eating healthy too, though, real quick, it's not about eating salads. It's not about shit like that. Like people always, especially our people, and then like the big thing is like not eating rice. Like, oh, I'm gonna stop eating rice. Yeah. Rice is not the problem. Rice is not why you put hella weight on or whatever. Like, and you just stop eating rice is not gonna just be the reason why you lost a lot of weight either. But controlling the amounts of those things that's the hard part. Bro. That's the part, right? Yeah. And yes, excess carbs is gonna you're gonna gain weight. Like if you're not burning the shit off, it's just anything. Like calories wise, if you're putting in too much food and you're not working out or you're not exercising, then it's gonna sit as weight.
It's definitely not rice, because if you think about other cultures that don't eat as much rice, but you still have people who are overweight. It's like. So
so it's just controlling those things, and of course genetics and stuff come into play too. But at the same time, like if you control what you eat and you know what makes you feel good, you should probably just eat that more often. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's really all I'm saying.
Or for starters, just cut back. Yeah. For me, it's been the biggest thing is just cut back. Yeah. Like I went from eating big ass bowl of Qdoba for lunch to not eating much at all, just enough to get me through the rest of my day, or I'll fast through the rest of the day. And I do feel much better once you make it past that mental, stress of not eating or whatever, and you can fight through the hunger. It gets easier. Yeah. And then you can eat smaller meals and still feel and function, normally. Yeah.
So it's
just really, reduce, just cut back a little bit. Okay? Yeah, instead of maybe 2 scoops of rice, just put 1. Just try first, and then sit there for 10 minutes after you're done and see how you feel. Yeah, yeah. That's my advice. That's my experience anyway. Yeah. Just try. Like the thing is just trying to. It's going, trying to figure out the different ways that really help you feel better, because feeling like I'm kind of reiterating, continue to say it, but it's making every day count, right? So whatever makes you feel good, you should do that. Repeat it. Yeah, like those are the things. Like whatever food that's not gonna make you feel good, like you probably shouldn't, take in those foods. Foods that are probably super unhealthy for you, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I keep it very simple. I'm telling you, we talked about this on fucking probably episode 3 or something. I still eat just rice and ground beef. Like I tried that this week. Yeah, I did. I tried it this week. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, bro. Like and I fucking still love it. Like that's still got flavor. You still got rice. And I put corn in mine. Oh, see, I don't know. Corn. I like corn, but not like that. Not with my stuff. I already got that shit down, and I just feel good, bro. Like I can eat a good amount, of it and not feel crazy, Yeah. And that's rice, and I'm not taking out rice. Like I work out every day. I need the fuel, like the carbohydrates and all that. I need the fuel, so I'm not worried about it. So eating right, eating better. So next one, number 3, right? Number 3. Number 3. I actually changed it from what I initially thought it was, but because I think this is actually more important. Yeah. And yes, there is even a book about this, but you should read it. Yeah, it's a good book. Taking extreme ownership of your life. Like, what does that mean, though, bro? It means that everything that happens to you is your fault.
and not becoming a victim, not having a victim mentality. And I know that might bother some people, honestly, because you probably think the world is against you, and you know the world is conspiring against you, and it's somebody else's fault that you are this way. And I just can't ever buy into that, and I think everything's my fault. And so even though things like, sure, there's things you can't control, right? But the things that you can't control usually can help you, you know, through those situations and make things a lot better than if you fall into the idea that you're a victim of something and you're not succeeding because it's somebody else's fault or some condition that you couldn't control.
It's always an outside force that's
the problem. And so you're trying to get out of that, right? Not we're talking about not blaming anything and blaming the work. Like, so Labor Day, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning. This is the story I wanted to bring up. We got into, it was the last inning of the first game. We were down by 3. So they walked the guy that was hitting in front of me. There's 3 runs on the bases were loaded. So all I had to do was
send one over
the fence. Game over. We win that. So I am thinking, like, for real, bro. Like, it sucks that I did not get that damn ball over the fence because we ended up losing the whole thing. All I had to do was what I just did earlier in that game. I hit one over the fence. All I had to do was hit another one, and we are champions. But I didn't. So I take responsibility. I feel that responsibility is on me for not winning us that game.
Oh, you're not gonna blame the pitcher though?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was so great. It was the umpire's fault too, you know. Like, like it fucking sucks, bro. Like, but
that's what somebody who doesn't take ownership would do. Yeah, blame the pitcher, blame the ball, the conditions.
Yeah, and I can't do that. Like, I can't do that, and it's crazy, but for real, it is that, and it's the same thing that even when our like in our business, right, in Nesian Built. When sometimes we have like a down week or, you know, or down month, then we're sitting here like, oh shit, maybe it's just the economy. You can sit there and say that. You can say that, oh, it's the economy, bro. Like, oh, it's just this and that. No, like when you start really looking into it, and then I've done it for us. Like, why isn't more gear getting out? Why isn't why isn't stuff selling? It's probably because maybe we didn't post enough content, you know, maybe we didn't take the right pictures, like stuff like that. Like, you have to look within yourself or what the problem is. It's not outside. I can promise you that. It's usually not outside. It's usually just you. What are you doing to help the problem, help fix the problem? And if you start doing that, you start realizing that you can put in way more action into doing things and getting results that you want than blaming somebody else or blaming an outside external force for making it so that you didn't reach your goal or succeed in whatever you're trying to do. And that's the same thing. Like, if, this craziest thing, like when I think people sometimes say like, and this is something that's very common with Islanders, right? It's like, they say, oh, my wife cooks so good. So, bro, like, but if you decided, like, let's say, like, you just, you know, you're unhealthy or you just maybe just overweight or whatever, and really, I'm not hating on it. I'm just fucking saying this is the truth, right? You're putting that your weight gain or whatever on good cooking of your spouse or whatever, but they didn't put the food in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I understand, and that's what I'm saying. Where the control comes into account, right? It's you knowing, yes, they cook good. So let me, you know, kind of control that, and maybe once, twice a week, and all the other days I'll eat what I should be eating, kind of thing, right? Yeah. That's all I'm saying with that. It's controlling. You're putting the responsibility on somebody else, but it's really on you. So you can't say that, I did this because they did that. It's like for me saying the same thing. Like, I really just, another man cannot control my emotions. Like, I just really put it like that, because people do what they do. Like, that's what they want to do. That has no effect on me. Like, even if I don't understand it, even though I don't like it, that's not gonna affect me. As long as they're not hurting me or my family, that's not gonna affect me. You know what I'm saying? So it's you being in control of your feelings, emotions, your mentality, the actions you take for anything that you do. It's you. It's all on you. Whatever goal you want to reach, it's you. Whatever problems you're having, it's on you to solve it. It's nobody else's, responsibility to solve the thing. Yeah, it's just taking responsibility of everything around you, taking control. And that's how you take control of everything around you, by taking care of the actions that you need to take, not that other people need to take, that you need to take, right? You're changing a culture, changing your family, or changing the changing the dynamics of your family. It's on you. It's like, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you want to lead, and you want people to follow, become the best version of yourself, right? Yeah. Control everything that you can do, so that other people will want to, kind of follow that.
The only thing we can do is control.
You can't control other people's actions. You can't control how other people act. You can't control how other people, feel.
Yeah.
So all you can't control is you.
I like that. I think, so far the order is all right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I think in order for you to take extreme ownership of your actions, it definitely takes a higher level of thinking. You know what I mean? Because it's real easy to blame other people. Yeah. That's the easiest thing to do. The harder thing is to blame yourself, or to take ownership of your situation and your choices and your decisions. That's the harder part.
Look at this. Remember that time when I applied for that job and I interviewed? What's that? The job that you have.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I applied for that and I didn't get that job, right? And I interviewed with him.
No, I didn't take it from him.
No. Yeah, he didn't take it from me. I just didn't.
I got it later on down the road.
And this is where that's going, because I didn't get that job, and I remember at that time I blamed that guy, the main dude that was interviewing me. Mm-hmm. There was a panel. I was blaming him.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was blaming him because he didn't like me or some shit like that, right?
Thought he did, yeah.
Because I thought he didn't like me because maybe the way I talked or I responded to one of his questions, but that was on me. Like, I wasn't good enough. Like, that's. Like, when I look back at all these things, right, I didn't get all these jobs, but I also believe things happen for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't get that job because I wasn't good enough. Like, I wasn't super qualified. I didn't answer the questions to the best of my ability. Yeah. I mean, I answered to the best of my ability at that point, but I could have gotten better. I could have done more research on the job. I could have, learned, maybe try to figure out a couple questions that they might ask so I could answer it better, on the interview. It's just simple shit like that. I was sitting there blaming him, but it was all on me.
Yeah.
Or it was like, oh, they hired that guy because his dad works in the same department, stuff like that. Like, that shit don't matter. If you were the best, you would have got that job. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying myself. Yeah. I would have got that job if I was actually the best applicant. I'm not gonna, and that's how I see it now. At that time, I didn't,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It takes a higher level of thinking sometimes, because it took you a while to get to where you're at now.
For sure.
To realize that then,
Mm-hmm. And you're just blaming everything outside. Like, if you don't like your job, you have the ability to change that. So don't sit there and bitch and complain about it. Yeah. That's on you. Once again, you take ownership. If you're not willing to go get skills, if you're not willing to go learn something new, if you're not willing to get better, to make more money or do whatever, then that's on you. Like, it's not. Don't blame corporate or whoever for not giving you a raise. That's not on them. That's on you to provide the skills. It's on you to provide, the services that they need and at the level that they need for that. If you want that money, you provide value, you get paid for for your value. That's really just what it is. So just taking ownership of everything.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that you don't, you're not blaming outside stuff. Shit happens. I understand that. Like, believe me, I know. Like, there are some things that it's obviously not your fault, and yes, some of those things really do happen. Where externally, but don't let that be the reason why you stop or the reason
because
that
at that
holds
point
you back.
You can still point at, it's because of this.
Mm-hmm.
You still have control of yourself, though.
Yeah.
How are you going to react to that situation?
How are you going to react to that now? After that,
how do you react to it now? Mm-hmm. It happened, sure. What do I do now?
Yep.
And that's tough, dude.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is one of the toughest things, is just, what do you do after that? And that basically goes into the one that I had in before. It's like responding, not reacting.
Yeah,
right?
that was the original number 3.
The original one was responding, not reacting to situations, right? Just kind of settling down, look at the situation, understanding that sometimes, even though you don't like the situation, understand or have empathy, understand where it stems from, how the other person might be going through. It's just stuff like that, So just taking ownership of shit around you, shit that you do, your actions, right?
Yeah.
And number four is something that we definitely incorporated the last 2 years, and that is choosing to do something hard. And I'd say at least once a year, right? And when I say doing something hard, I'm talking about, whether it's physically or, going for a job. Like I'm talking about physically, like running your first 5K, even just signing up for your first gym membership, applying for a job that you didn't think you really qualified for, but you know, it's hard. Like then making yourself qualified for that job that you want to go get, right? Learning skills, a skill that you didn't, you know, that you've always wanted to have, but you just never went out to go learn it, right? Those are the kind of things I'm talking about, because it does so many things, right? And it does things before, during, and after. You know, it has those effects on you just choosing to do something hard. And beforehand, right? Before, like when you choose, right? Like say for us, like the marathon, right? Before that, you're fucking, there's no way, it's impossible. There's no way I can run a marathon. And then you go into the training and you do a little bit of training, you do a little bit here and there, right? And it's just like it having that marathon down the road, like always like I had my North Star, my micro North Star, right? It's because like my big North Star is becoming the best version of myself, being the man that I've always wanted to be, right? And that micro North Star for me, right, is the marathon. It's going to help me. It's going to help me, you know, learn stuff about myself, you know, different things, learn some skills about myself, or learn, you know, how I react to certain things and stuff. Put myself through a little bit of suffering. And so the training is part of that. Training is part of that. Get through that, right? And then once you do the marathon, it's like, minute, like you're doing it, you're done, you know, go through those processes, you know, learning, you know, all the different things that happen in marathons and all the people and how you feel in different portions of the marathon. Yeah. And then afterwards, I just did that. What I used to think I couldn't do, I just did that. Yeah. You're crushing the limiting beliefs. And the more you fucking do that, the more you make the hard harder, right? So it's like you made your fight. You thought you couldn't run a 5K, you fucking ran a 5K. Yep. Thought you couldn't run a 10K, ran a 10K. You're making the hard harder. And that's just, when you keep doing that, just imagine how high and how far you can go, because you just keep making the hard harder. You're crushing every limiting belief. So let's say you wanted to go get a job, right? Or you wanted to learn a new skill. I don't know, something, fucking play guitar or whatever, right? And before you think, man, I've watched a couple of videos and stuff like that, or I've watched this one guy and he looks really good. there's no way I could do that. Start somewhere, you know, choose. I'm going to learn, or I'm going to take lessons twice a week or something like that, right? Take lessons twice a week. Or you know somebody, I'm going to go with them and they can probably teach me like twice a week for an hour a day, you know, so something like that. And then a year from then, you know, you probably fucking know how to play the guitar like pretty good, fluently, right? Yeah. Like you can be pretty damn good with it. Yeah. But you didn't think, you would have never thought that if you didn't just take the step, right, to decide. Yeah. And that's what all I'm saying is like decide, choose something hard, go through the process, go through that journey of doing that, you know, right? Yeah. Do it. You're probably going to do it and be successful at it because you put yourself through the process, right? Do it. And then what is next after that? You never know. Like that's what it's gonna stem from, or it's gonna go from you just learning that to you might be in a band in 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit's crazy, right? Yeah. It's how that works, because you just keep making the hard harder.
And don't forget to look back when you crush the goal too.
Yeah,
because like I talked about with the little 5-mile run, you know, I've never done it before.
Yeah,
and then after the 10K, it's like, you know, 5 miles is nothing. Yeah, wait a minute. Just not too long ago, 5 miles is impossissible. You know what I mean? So that can help push you forward.
Yeah, yeah. Like remember where you came from. Yeah, and just remember, like that's just steps that you're taking, and that's like your proof that you're growing, right? Yeah. Because I think we started with 75 hard was the thing, and then we did the 20 mile, right? The 10-mile run, 10-mile.
I remember how huge that was.
Yeah, it was huge, right? Like it was such a big deal. Like I thought it was a big deal, but then after that, it's like, oh, that's nothing. Like, you know, because you made the hard harder. Now what do we do after this? Fuck, we're running a marathon now, right? And that shit was huge too. And it was cool. Like it was really nice, and learned so much about myself through that journey and getting that done. And then, oh shit, we ran a marathon. All right, now we got to run one faster. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just those things, like you just keep trying to get better. After you do that, it's like an unlock, right? It's like you unlock and you see like I can do shit, man. Like I can. You're crushing the limiting beliefs, and it's because right now you're probably sitting down listening, and it's like I can't do this. Like there's something that's in your head that you want to do, right? There's something that's in your head that you want to do so bad, and you want to, you just want to go for it.
Yeah.
But you're just thinking like, there's no way. There's no way.
That's the limiting belief.
That's your limiting belief right there. Because maybe you fucking haven't seen anybody do it before. Someone like you do it before.
That doesn't mean
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. All that matters.
That's
That's
a first.
what goes into your, taking ownership. What can you do for yourself to get to that goal? What steps can you take to get to that goal? Yeah. And you have to take that ownership. Say, this is what I'm going to do. Commit to it. Just fucking go.
Make a plan. The plan is huge too, though. Like I was listening to a motivational thing for David Goggins when he was trying to break that pull-up record.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh man, that's impossible." And they look back and he's on paper. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's breaking it down, dude. How many pull-ups do I need to do a minute?
Yeah.
To reach or past that goal? So he made a plan. He devised. He chopped it into bite-sized pieces, and he killed it.
Yeah.
It took him a couple times.
Yeah. I know. But he failed like the first two times.
First two times, and he eventually got it. But yeah, make a plan.
Make a plan.
If it seems overwhelming, make a plan. Break it up. Bite-sized pieces. That'll probably help down the road.
Yeah. So just choose to do something. Our first 5K race, your first marathon, half marathon, Spartan race, a tough mudder, trying to learn a new skill. Like I really like the physical stuff because it's like it really fucking challenges you, and it really fucking changes your mindset about a lot of shit, like about what you believe you can do, because that shit just really just fucking translates into life itself. Those physical feats and physical challenges that we do, and I'm gonna do something every year. I mean, we ran a marathon this year, and we're doing the Spartan race fucking next week. So and this is a 13-mile Spartan race. Yeah, we decided we're just gonna do the fucking long one. We just do the big one because we wanted to hurt a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Just go through it, suffer a little bit, and then on to the next and see what happens after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, like, do something hard. Just choose something, and I promise you, it's gonna do you so much because of just crushing the limiting beliefs. That's like the biggest thing. Because once you're done with that, I feel like you're gonna be. Of course, you're gonna feel accomplished. You didn't think you could do it fucking a year ago, right? And you knocked it out. You got it done. Yeah. So then you're like, man, what else can I do? What else can I do?
Yeah, I think
that's what I want you to feel.
Yeah, at the top, you got to keep that mentality. What else? Because what is the saying? Don't sit on your laurels. You can't just sit there after you're completed something, and then next thing you know, you're down the hill again. Because I got it, and then you just let go. Yeah, that's a problem with me. I'll do that sometimes.
Yeah, but this is the thing that about that, right?
Keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Yeah, because this is the thing. That's why I always set something, bro. That's why I always do that, because, like I said, I want my North Star, my micro North Star. I just want it right in front of me so that I continue to challenge myself every day, because I have something and I don't want to fucking fail at that. So I'm going to stay on the path, right? So every time I've done it, like the 20 miler was cool, but there's like the journey to it is fucking solid, right? Yeah. But once I get it done, it's like, yeah, I did that. That's cool. But then for real, it's like, it's not as climactic as I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Like, it's cool, dopamine hit real quick, right? And then after that, it's just like, all right, I got to do something like again now. Like next day, I'm just like, I got to do something now again, because I'm not going to sit on that. Like, that's what I did yesterday. Nobody gives a shit about it, Yeah. Nobody gives a shit about what I did yesterday. Yeah. What do I do now? What do I do now with that experience? Yeah. What do I do now? So we move to the next thing, marathon. All right, fucking did the marathon. It's cool. Next day, what do we do next? Yeah. Because like it was fun. It was hard and all that. Nobody gives a shit what I did yesterday. What am I going to do with that now? Keep going up and
run a faster one.
Yeah, run a faster one. And you just keep doing that, just because it's like you just keep learning and just keep moving forward. Like, that's why I always want to set these things, just so I'm always challenging myself. And this is something that you can also, do for you, because it can keep you on that path to growth.
It doesn't have to be crazy big like that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that.
Like we said earlier, start small.
Start small.
Start slow.
Because it just keeps you on the path. And then
you start snowball.
And it'll tell you, like, and these things are like, because you can set those things out, and let's imagine if you quit. Like, you can lie to yourself all you want about, this happened and this happened. I mean, I understand shit happens, but there's a lot of times there's ways around it. You're just really telling yourself a story to get out of it, right?
And that's where that ownership takes.
Yeah.
you got to implement that extreme ownership too.
That's crazy how that works.
Yeah,
like how all
just
of it
fell right back into
and that's just what it is. It's just what it is. And you tell yourself the story and you will follow that story. That's why being around the people that you're around and listening to the things that you think,
it's important.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna play a role in the shit that you do, you know. So yeah, that's number 4. On to number 5. This is the most important one. And same thing is gonna go hand in hand with everything else, because it's gonna bleed into all of it. Being grateful for every day. Gratitude every day. Everything that you get, everything that you are, everything that you've had, everything that you will get in the future, you have to be grateful for. You should show gratitude. Like, gratitude not only just shows you where you came from, it not only shows you what you have that others may not have, it just gives you a perspective that every day is really a blessing. Like, because we always say that, right? Life is short. You got to do this. Life is like, dude, I've fucking been seeing, like, the thing that makes me fucking push this and be so damn grateful every day is I just keep seeing people, especially fucking island people, just passing away left and right. It's like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, what is happening? I'm not going to go into, you know, all that, but it's just thinking, like, you can be gone. You can literally be gone at any moment. So what you have, where you're at, where you came from, like, just grateful for all of it. It just gives you a perspective of, you could be somewhere else. You could, you could be in a way worse situation because somebody else is probably going through a way worse situation. And if you have that perspective of gratitude, you're gonna want to make every day your best day. You're gonna want to do your best at everything that you do. You're gonna want to be your best because it could be gone. Like, all of it could be gone. Yep. So, like, everything that you have, your family, the people around you, the people that love you, the people that support you, be grateful. Be grateful.
That's a big one.
Because the same thing, they don't have to do that. Nobody owes you shit. Nobody owes you anything. That's then going to go back into the extreme ownership shit. It's all on you. Like, you show gratitude, and it just changes your perspective on how you treat people, how you treat life itself, and how you just see yourself and how you can be a different person, be a better person for everything and everyone around you. And that's why I fucking do what I do. It's just because I have the opportunity to be better. I want to take on that opportunity. I want to take advantage of that opportunity every day to be better. And if I can pass that on to people around me and people that listen to us, I want to fucking do that, because we don't have to get these opportunities, right? We don't have to. You could be gone. You could, like, the fact that you can run. There's people in wheelchairs that just wish they had the opportunity that you have,
or
to be able to walk, or health conditions. Like, just think of that stuff. Like, where you are right now, like, you could be perfectly fine health-wise and stuff like that. Tomorrow you could be in the fucking hospital with something that just changes your life, where the rest of your life is instantly just different than the past 25, 30 years of your life, you know? So it's just being grateful for what you have. And even if you're going through problems, like, I'm telling you, like, even if you're going through issues, just be grateful. You're going to go through fucking problems either way. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Yeah. Be grateful for those problems, because you probably don't want somebody else's problems. You know,
look at the problem. What is the problem?
Yeah.
Because, like I was telling you the other day, my daughter didn't want to wake up and go to school the next day or shower in the morning. And I had to break that perspective down to her. I was like, look, you're lucky to even be able to wake up and go to school, because there's kids out there in, third world countries and stuff like that who would love to go to school, to wake up and go to school and wake up and take a shower in some clean water. And you have this opportunity now. So you should be grateful for this, because to somebody else, this is a dream, and you're living it and they don't get to. So,
it just gives you that perspective, man. Like, everybody goes through different things, and just being grateful for that you're here. And I don't know if there's a second life for us or whatever the hell goes on after death, but just being grateful for where you are, realizing where you came from, you know, that gratitude is it's a mentality that that is probably the most important. Like, I think just like you see a lot of people, like I've seen all these videos, these TikTok and like Instagram videos, these kids, man, out there dancing in fucking Africa, bro. Like that shit fucking touches my heart, bro. Just because they don't have to have a lot. They don't need a lot
to be happy,
but they're fucking happy.
I think
also they're grateful for what they have.
Yeah,
you know?
it also might take you to slow down. People get caught up in the everyday life, and out here stateside, it's fast, man. The pace of living out here is so damn fast. Everything is instant, and you can get caught up in the everyday and not realize what you have. You know, I've done it before now, and you know, I think becoming a parent and being able to move out and get our own little spot has opened my eyes to what, you know, and made me grateful for what we have, because, you know, it's way better than what it used to be. You know what I mean? So, but it takes you to slow down real quick, zoom out, like I said earlier. Just slow down, stop, and really think, look around, just pause. I can turn everything off, be silent, and look around and see what you have, and where you could be worse off, you know, and what other people would do to be in a position you're in. So you gotta slow down sometimes, man.
And it's like really just realizing what's really important, what really is important. Like judgment of other people, it's not fucking important. Who gives a shit? Like, you think we'd be doing this if we gave a shit about what people thought? I give zero shits about what people fucking think, because I know what my intent is. Like, I don't care what people think. I know what my intent is, and I'm only trying to do good. So I don't give a shit if other people, like I said, it's like if other people see it any other way, that's on them. That has nothing to do with me. I'm taking ownership of what I do. Whatever you feel, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. You know, so it's just that, like, realizing what's important, what's really important. Like, half the shit that we think is important means nothing.
Probably not important.
And it really means nothing. Like, I've seen some of the shit that people get mad about. For what? For what? Like, like, that's one of those things where you're letting shit take your energy that you only have a fucking certain amount of, like, in your
capacity of
your energy bank. Like, why give it to shit that doesn't matter? Never. Like, well, I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just understanding that, being grateful, understand what's important in your life, what's really important, you know, and what you have is what you have. What, you know, what you can be and what you can, you know, get down the road can be totally different with just a fucking mindset of gratitude. I think that is the number one thing that has made, like, really helped me through this journey of me, you know, chasing whatever it is I'm chasing, you know, chasing the best version of myself. So that gratitude mindset is fucking everything. So that's the top 5 actions for personal growth for us, you know, in our
opinions. These are our opinions, our experiences, stuff like that. So
from our journey. So hopefully
it resonates with you guys, and you can take some of these nuggets.
And then we hope, like we always say, we hope it helps someone out there. We hope it helps you. Go out there, be your best, and always do that shit island style. But thank you guys for joining us again. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go.